The economic toll of fires in Los Angeles is both staggering and multifaceted, touching every sector of society. Beyond the visible devastation of homes, businesses, and infrastructure, the financial ripple effects extend into realms like healthcare, insurance, tourism, and public resources. The true cost of these disasters often remains hidden beneath layers of long-term consequences that affect individual livelihoods, community stability, and even the broader economy. At the forefront of economic losses is the destruction of property. Fires in urban and suburban areas frequently ravage residential neighborhoods, destroying homes and displacing families. For many, their homes represent their most significant financial investment, and losing them can be devastating, both emotionally and economically. Even with insurance, the process of rebuilding is often fraught with delays, hidden costs, and insufficient coverage. Entire communities are disrupted, with schools, utilities, and essential services rendered inoperable, requiring substantial investments for reconstruction and recovery. Businesses, too, bear a heavy burden. For small businesses, which are the backbone of local economies, the damage caused by fires can be insurmountable. Physical destruction of premises, loss of inventory, and interruption of operations often lead to permanent closures. Larger corporations also face significant losses, particularly in industries dependent on physical assets or local consumer bases. The ripple effects extend to employees, many of whom lose their jobs and struggle to find alternative employment, especially in areas still grappling with the aftermath of the disaster. Insurance claims represent another substantial cost. In the wake of major fires, insurance companies face billions of dollars in payouts for property damage, business interruptions, and other covered losses. While insurance provides a safety net for many, the influx of claims can drive up premiums for all policyholders, spreading the economic impact across the broader population. In some cases, insurance companies may even withdraw coverage in high-risk areas, leaving homeowners and businesses vulnerable to future disasters. The public sector also feels the strain of fires through the immense cost of firefighting and emergency response efforts. Local, state, and federal governments allocate substantial resources to contain fires, evacuate residents, and provide immediate aid to affected areas. These operations require manpower, equipment, and logistical support, all of which come with a hefty price tag. The funds used for disaster response are often diverted from other critical areas like education, healthcare, and infrastructure development, creating a broader societal impact. Healthcare costs add another layer to the economic toll. Fires contribute to immediate medical emergencies, such as burns, respiratory issues, and injuries sustained during evacuations. Additionally, the prolonged exposure to smoke and poor air quality leads to an increase in respiratory and cardiovascular conditions, particularly among vulnerable populations. The strain on healthcare systems is significant, with hospitals and clinics facing an influx of patients during and after the fires. For individuals, the cost of medical treatment, often coupled with the stress of other fire losses, can be overwhelming. Tourism, a vital industry in Los Angeles, suffers immensely during fire seasons. The city and its surrounding areas attract millions of visitors annually, drawn by its natural beauty, attractions, and cultural offerings. However, when fires strike, the resulting devastation, poor air quality, and road closures deter tourists. Iconic landmarks may be damaged or closed, while hotels, restaurants, and other businesses lose revenue due to decreased foot traffic. The long-term impact on tourism can linger as the region struggles to rebuild its reputation and restore its attractions. The agricultural sector, though less prominent in urban areas, is not immune to the economic consequences of fires. Farms and vineyards in nearby regions often suffer significant losses as crops are destroyed and soil quality is degraded. The destruction of farmland impacts not only the livelihoods of farmers, but also the broader food supply chain, potentially driving up prices for consumers. Fires also take a toll on energy infrastructure. Power lines, substations, and other critical components are often damaged or destroyed, leading to widespread outages and costly repairs. Utility companies, already under scrutiny for their role in some fires, face lawsuits, fines, and increased regulatory oversight further adding to their financial burden. These costs are often passed on to consumers in the form of higher energy bills. Long-term economic consequences include decreased property values in fire-prone areas. Communities that experience repeated fires may see a decline in real estate demand as potential buyers hesitate to invest in risky locations. This can lead to a downward spiral where reduced property taxes limit the funds available for community services, further eroding the quality of life in affected areas. Despite the staggering costs, the economic toll of fires also presents opportunities for growth and resilience. Reconstruction efforts can stimulate the local economy, creating jobs in construction, engineering, and related industries. Investments in fire prevention and mitigation strategies, such as improved building codes, forest management, and early warning systems, can reduce future costs and create a safer environment for all. Furthermore, fostering a culture of preparedness and community resilience can mitigate the long-term economic impact, ensuring that individuals and businesses are better equipped to recover from disasters. Ultimately, the economic toll of fires in Los Angeles serves as a stark reminder of the need for proactive measures and sustainable practices. Addressing the root causes, from climate change to urban planning, requires collective effort and substantial investment. By prioritizing prevention and resilience, we can reduce the financial burden of these disasters and create a future where communities are not only better protected, but also empowered to thrive amidst adversity. The human cost of fires in Los Angeles transcends numbers and statistics. It is a narrative of disrupted lives, shattered dreams, and deep emotional scars. While the physical damage and economic toll of fires are evident, the invisible impact on individuals, families, and communities often leaves the deepest, most lasting impression. From the trauma of losing loved ones to the psychological burden of displacement and uncertainty, the human cost is immeasurable. When a fire engulfs a neighborhood, the immediate threat to life is paramount. The loss of human lives is the most devastating cost, leaving families broken and communities mourning. Each life lost represents untold stories, relationships, and contributions. The grief of losing a loved one in such tragic circumstances is compounded by the suddenness of the event, leaving survivors grappling with unanswered questions and a profound sense of loss. For those who escape with their lives, the scars often go beyond the physical. Injuries from burns, smoke inhalation, and accidents during evacuations can leave permanent disabilities or chronic health conditions. Survivors often face extended hospital stays, surgeries, and rehabilitation, which not only strain their physical well-being, but also impose significant emotional and financial burdens. The sight of physical scars can serve as a daily reminder of the traumatic event, making emotional recovery even more challenging. Displacement is another critical facet of the human cost. Families forced to flee their homes often face the heart-wrenching realization that they may never return to the life they once knew. Evacuations, though essential for safety, thrust individuals into a state of uncertainty where they are uprooted from their communities and stripped of their sense of security. Many are left to grapple with the loss of treasured possessions, photos, heirlooms, and mementos that carry memories of a lifetime gone in an instant. In the aftermath, the challenge of rebuilding lives is daunting. For many, the financial strain of starting over is insurmountable, especially for those without adequate insurance or savings. Families living paycheck to paycheck find themselves thrust into poverty, relying on shelters, aid organizations, and government assistance to make ends meet. The psychological toll of this upheaval can lead to feelings of helplessness, anger, and depression. The mental health impact of fires is profound and far-reaching. Survivors often experience symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, including flashbacks, anxiety, and a heightened fear of recurrence. Children, in particular, are deeply affected. Losing their homes, schools, and sense of normalcy can lead to emotional and behavioral challenges that persist long after the flames have been extinguished. Parents, meanwhile, struggle to provide stability while managing their own grief and anxiety. Communities also bear the weight of the human cost. Fires disrupt the social fabric, displacing neighbors, closing schools, and halting businesses. The shared sense of belonging that ties communities together is eroded, leaving residents feeling isolated and uncertain about the future. The strain on community resources, such as shelters, food banks, and healthcare facilities, is immense, creating a ripple effect that touches even those who were not directly impacted by the fires. First responders, while hailed as heroes, also bear a significant human cost. Firefighters, paramedics, and law enforcement officers risk their lives to protect others, often enduring physical injuries, exhaustion, and exposure to hazardous conditions. The emotional toll of witnessing destruction, death, and despair can lead to burnout, depression, and even PTSD. These individuals carry the weight of their duty long after the flames are out, often without the recognition or support they deserve. The human cost of fires also includes the erosion of trust and security. For many, the realization that their homes and communities are vulnerable to such destruction shakes their faith in the stability of their surroundings. This can lead to a pervasive sense of insecurity and hypervigilance, where the sight of smoke or the smell of ash triggers fear and panic. Despite the immense pain and loss, the human spirit often shines through in the aftermath of fires. Communities rally together, offering support, resources, and compassion to those in need. Stories of bravery, resilience, and selflessness emerge, reminding us of the strength of the human spirit. Volunteers, aid organizations, and strangers step in to fill the gaps, proving that even in the darkest times, humanity can find a way to rebuild and recover. However, healing from the human cost of fires requires more than just rebuilding homes and infrastructure. It necessitates addressing the emotional and psychological wounds of survivors, providing resources for mental health support, and fostering a sense of community and belonging. It also calls for proactive measures to prevent future tragedies, ensuring that communities are better equipped to withstand the challenges posed by fires. Ultimately, the human cost of fires is a stark reminder of our shared vulnerability and the importance of empathy and resilience. While the flames may destroy, they also reveal the strength, courage, and compassion that define humanity. In facing these challenges together, we not only rebuild what was lost, but also forge deeper connections and a renewed commitment to protecting what truly matters. There's a stark reality that stands before us when we reflect on the recent fires that ravaged Los Angeles. It is not merely the burnt remains of trees or homes reduced to ash. It is the collective heartache, the environmental scars, and the challenges that have shaped our sense of community and resilience. Fires have a way of forcing us to confront truths we often prefer to ignore. Today we gather not just to account for the damage, but to glean the lessons that such destruction imparts. The physical devastation caused by fires in Los Angeles is a sobering reminder of the immense power of nature and the vulnerability of human creations. Fires sweep through landscapes with an unforgiving intensity, reducing homes, businesses, and natural surroundings to ash and debris. In their wake, they leave behind not only a scarred landscape, but also a profound sense of loss and uncertainty. Examining the depth and breadth of this destruction allows us to appreciate the challenges of recovery and the need for preventative measures in the future. Entire neighborhoods, once vibrant and full of life, have been obliterated. Streets where families shared memories, children played, and communities flourished now resemble barren wastelands. The loss of homes means the erasure of personal histories, photographs, cherished mementos, and heirlooms vanish in an instant. Each pile of rubble tells a story of lives disrupted, of people forced to start over with little more than the clothes on their backs. The physical destruction of a home is more than the loss of a structure, it's the loss of a sense of safety and stability, leaving survivors grappling with the overwhelming task of rebuilding both their homes and their lives. Businesses too suffer immense losses during fires. Small shops and family-run enterprises that serve as the backbone of local economies are often completely destroyed. This not only impacts the business owners, but also their employees, customers, and the broader community that relies on their services. A burned out storefront is a stark symbol of dreams interrupted and livelihoods derailed. The ripple effects of such destruction extend beyond the immediate area, straining local economies and putting additional pressure on recovery resources. The natural environment bears an equally heavy burden. Thousands of acres of forested land and green spaces are consumed by flames, leaving a landscape of charred trees and barren soil. Wildlife habitats are destroyed, displacing countless animals and disrupting ecosystems. Some species may never recover, their populations permanently affected by the loss of habitat and resources. The destruction of vegetation also has long-term consequences for the environment, as trees and plants that once absorbed carbon dioxide and provided shade are replaced by open, scorched land. This contributes to a cycle of environmental degradation that fuels further climate challenges. Infrastructure, often taken for granted in daily life, is also heavily impacted by fires. Roads are damaged, power lines destroyed, and water systems compromised. This disruption to essential services hinders rescue and recovery efforts and adds to the challenges faced by affected communities. The rebuilding of infrastructure is a long and costly process, requiring significant resources and planning. During this period, residents must adapt to a lack of reliable utilities, complicating their efforts to resume normal life. This is when the government response to a crisis really matters. And beyond the immediate destruction, fires have long-term physical consequences for the region. The loss of vegetation increases the risk of soil erosion, especially during rainy seasons. Without plant roots to hold the soil in place, mudslides and landslides become more likely, creating secondary disasters that threaten lives and property. The destruction of forests and green spaces also contributes to increased temperatures in affected areas, as the natural cooling effects of trees are lost. This creates a feedback loop where the effects of one disaster heighten the risks of others. Air quality is another major concern in the aftermath of fires. The smoke and particulate matter released during a fire linger in the atmosphere, affecting the health of residents long after the flames are extinguished. Breathing in these pollutants can lead to respiratory problems, especially for vulnerable populations such as children, the elderly, and those with pre-existing health conditions. The physical toll on the human body is an often overlooked aspect of fire devastation, but one that has far-reaching implications. The scars left by fires are not just physical but also psychological. However, the visual reminder of destruction, burned landscapes and ruined homes, can serve as a powerful motivator for change. These reminders encourage communities to invest in preventative measures, such as fire-resistant building materials, improved land management practices, and early warning systems. They also inspire discussions about the importance of addressing climate change, as rising temperatures and prolonged droughts increase the frequency and intensity of fires. The physical devastation caused by fires in Los Angeles is a stark reminder of both the fragility of our built environment and the resilience required to rebuild. While the destruction is immense, it also presents an opportunity to learn, adapt, and create a more sustainable and fire-resistant future. By acknowledging the extent of the damage and committing to proactive measures, we can honor the losses and ensure that such devastation is less likely to occur in the future. The environmental impact of fires in Los Angeles is both profound and far-reaching, leaving scars on the land, air, and ecosystems that may take decades to heal. While the immediate destruction is apparent in the charred forests and scorched landscapes, the deeper consequences ripple through the natural world, affecting everything from biodiversity to climate systems. Fires of this magnitude force us to confront the delicate balance of nature and the often overlooked interconnections between human activity and the environment. One of the most visible effects of fires is the destruction of vegetation. Forests, grasslands, and green spaces are reduced to ash, leaving behind a barren and lifeless landscape. This loss is devastating not only because of its aesthetic value, but also because vegetation plays a critical role in maintaining ecological balance. Trees and plants serve as carbon sinks, absorbing carbon dioxide and mitigating the effects of climate change. When fires consume them, the stored carbon is released into the atmosphere, contributing to greenhouse gas emissions and exacerbating global warming. Additionally, the absence of vegetation accelerates soil erosion, as there are no longer roots to stabilize the ground. During subsequent rains, this can lead to mudslides and flooding, creating secondary disasters that compound the initial damage. Wildlife suffers tremendously in the wake of fires. Many animals lose their habitats, food sources, and shelter, forcing them to flee to unfamiliar territories where survival is uncertain. Some species, particularly those already endangered or with limited ranges, face the risk of extinction. The loss of biodiversity disrupts the intricate web of ecosystems, affecting predator-prey relationships, pollination cycles, and other natural processes essential for ecological health. For some species, the inability to adapt quickly enough to these changes seals their fate, leaving permanent gaps in the ecosystem. Water systems are also significantly affected. Fires can contaminate water supplies by introducing ash, debris, and chemicals into rivers, lakes, and reservoirs. This not only affects aquatic life, but also poses health risks to humans and animals that rely on these water sources. Furthermore, the loss of vegetation in watershed areas reduces the natural filtration of water, compromising water quality over the long term. In regions like Los Angeles, where water is already a precious and limited resource, these impacts exacerbate existing challenges. The air quality in fire-affected regions deteriorates dramatically, often reaching hazardous levels during and after the fire. The smoke from wildfires contains particulate matter, carbon monoxide, and other harmful pollutants that can travel hundreds of miles, affecting air quality in areas far removed from the fire itself. These pollutants pose serious health risks, particularly for vulnerable populations, such as children, the elderly, and those with respiratory conditions. Prolonged exposure to poor air quality can lead to chronic health issues, straining healthcare systems, and reducing overall quality of life. The long-term environmental impact extends to the soil, which suffers damage that is not immediately visible. High-intensity fires can bake the soil, making it hydrophobic or water repellent. This condition prevents water from penetrating the ground, increasing the likelihood of runoff and erosion. The loss of organic matter in the soil further depletes its fertility, making it difficult for plants to regrow. This creates a vicious cycle where the inability to restore vegetation prolongs the recovery of ecosystems and increases the risk of future fires. Fires also have a profound impact on urban environments. The destruction of infrastructure and the release of toxic materials from burned buildings and vehicles can introduce harmful substances into the environment. Debris and chemicals from urban fires often find their way into soil and water, creating long-term contamination issues that are costly and difficult to address. This intersection of natural and human-caused damage highlights the complex relationship between urban development and environmental vulnerability. Climate change both influences and is influenced by wildfires, creating a feedback loop that intensifies the problem. Rising temperatures, prolonged droughts, and changing weather patterns increase the likelihood and intensity of fires. In turn, the carbon emissions from fires contribute to further warming, creating a cycle that is difficult to break. This dynamic underscores the urgency of addressing climate change as part of the strategy to mitigate the environmental impact of fires. Despite the destruction, there are opportunities for recovery and regeneration. Nature has an incredible ability to heal when given time and support. Reforestation efforts, sustainable land management practices, and the restoration of ecosystems can help rebuild what has been lost. However, these efforts require long-term commitment and collaboration between governments, communities, and environmental organizations. The environmental impact of fires in Los Angeles is a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of all life on Earth. It challenges us to reevaluate our relationship with the natural world and to take proactive measures to protect and restore it. By understanding the depth of these impacts and committing to sustainable practices, we can work toward a future where both human and natural communities thrive in harmony. Lessons in preparedness and response, particularly in the face of disasters, are invaluable for ensuring safety, minimizing loss, and fostering resilience. When catastrophe strikes, it often exposes gaps in systems and personal readiness, offering powerful insights into how we can better prepare for and respond to future challenges. These lessons serve as reminders of our shared responsibility to prioritize foresight, adaptability, and collective action. Preparedness begins with awareness. Understanding potential risks and vulnerabilities in our environment is the cornerstone of being ready. Natural disasters such as wildfires, floods, hurricanes, and earthquakes are often unpredictable, but their likelihood in certain regions is not. Assessing local hazards allows individuals, families, and communities to take proactive steps such as creating emergency plans, securing homes, and identifying safe evacuation routes. Yet, awareness must extend beyond knowledge of risks. It includes recognizing warning signs, staying informed through reliable sources, and acting decisively when danger looms. One of the most critical lessons is the importance of having a plan. In the chaos of a disaster, clear thinking can be clouded by fear and urgency. An emergency plan, practiced and understood by all members of a household or community, provides a structured response. This plan should include evacuation procedures, communication methods, and a designated meeting place. It's also crucial to account for the needs of vulnerable individuals such as children, the elderly, and those with disabilities, as well as pets. Emergency supplies are another essential element of preparedness. A well-stocked emergency kit can mean the difference between safety and vulnerability. Basic items such as water, non-perishable food, flashlights, batteries, first aid supplies, medications, and important documents should be readily accessible. Preparing these essentials ahead of time not only ensures survival, but also provides peace of mind. The role of communication in preparedness and response cannot be overstated. Effective communication channels keep people informed, calm, and connected. Early warnings and real-time updates from authorities enable timely action, while personal communication plans help families stay in touch. However, disasters often disrupt traditional communication networks, highlighting the need for alternative methods, such as radios or prearranged signals, to ensure information flow during critical moments. Community collaboration is another key takeaway. Disasters reveal the interconnectedness of lives and the strength of collective effort. When individuals and organizations come together to share resources, skills, and knowledge, they create a safety net that supports everyone. Neighborhood groups, local governments, and volunteer organizations play vital roles in coordinating responses, providing shelter, distributing aid, and offering emotional support. Building these networks before a crisis strikes is essential for effective action when it does. Flexibility and adaptability are vital qualities in responding to unexpected events. Even the best laid plans can be upended by the unpredictability of disasters. Flexibility involves staying calm under pressure, reassessing priorities as circumstances evolve, and being resourceful in addressing challenges. It also means recognizing when to adjust strategies, whether it's seeking shelter in a new location, using unconventional tools, or supporting others in ways not initially planned. The psychological aspect of preparedness and response is equally significant. Disasters can take a heavy emotional toll, leading to fear, anxiety, and even trauma. Mental resilience is as crucial as physical readiness. Practicing mindfulness, maintaining open communication, and seeking emotional support are vital for coping with the stress of a crisis. Communities and organizations should also prioritize mental health resources, offering counseling and support groups to help individuals recover emotionally. Another lesson lies in learning from past events. Each disaster provides a wealth of information about what worked, what didn't, and what could be improved. Post-event evaluations allow communities to refine their preparedness measures, strengthen infrastructure, and enhance emergency protocols. By studying the successes and shortcomings of previous responses, we can build systems that are more effective and equitable. Education plays a pivotal role in embedding lessons of preparedness and response into daily life. Schools, workplaces, and community centers can serve as hubs for teaching safety skills such as CPR, first aid, and fire prevention. Regular drills and training sessions ensure that individuals feel confident in their ability to act during an emergency. Empowering people with knowledge and skills fosters a culture of readiness that extends beyond any single event. Finally, lessons in preparedness and response underscore the importance of hope and resilience. While disasters bring destruction, they also reveal humanity's capacity to endure and rebuild. Stories of courage, generosity, and perseverance inspire others to keep moving forward, even in the face of adversity. Embracing this resilience allows individuals and communities to emerge stronger and more united. In conclusion, the lessons learned from preparedness and response to disasters remind us of the power of forethought, unity, and adaptability. By investing in planning, fostering collaboration, and nurturing resilience, we not only protect ourselves and our loved ones, but also contribute to a stronger, more compassionate society. Every effort we make today prepares us for the uncertainties of tomorrow, ensuring that when challenges arise, we are ready to face them together. The call for unity and resilience resonates deeply, particularly in times of uncertainty, adversity, or collective challenge. These qualities are the foundation upon which individuals and communities can face crises, rebuild, and emerge stronger. Unity fosters connection and collaboration, while resilience empowers us to adapt, persevere, and thrive despite difficulties. Together, they form an unshakable framework for growth and transformation. Unity begins with the recognition that we are all interconnected, whether within families, neighborhoods, or nations. The challenges we face often ripple beyond individual circumstances to affect others. By acknowledging this shared experience, we create the opportunity to work together toward common goals. Unity is not about uniformity or erasing differences. Rather, it is about embracing diversity and channeling it toward a collective purpose. The strength of any group lies in its ability to bring varied perspectives and talents to the table, blending them into a harmonious and effective whole. Moments of crisis often highlight the necessity of unity. Natural disasters, economic struggles, or social injustices test the bonds that hold communities together. Yet they also reveal humanity's capacity for solidarity and mutual support. From neighbors helping neighbors to nations extending aid across borders, the spirit of unity transforms individual acts into powerful movements of hope and healing. It is this collective action that allows societies to recover, rebuild, and envision a brighter future. Resilience, on the other hand, is the inner strength that enables individuals and communities to navigate hardship. It is the ability to endure setbacks, adapt to change, and continue striving toward goals despite obstacles. Resilience is not the absence of struggle or pain. Rather, it is the capacity to face these challenges head on, learn from them, and grow stronger. Like a tree bending in the wind, resilience allows us to remain grounded while adjusting to life's unpredictable forces. Building resilience requires a mindset shift. Instead of viewing adversity as a barrier, it must be seen as an opportunity for growth. Every challenge presents a chance to learn, innovate, and uncover strengths we may not have known we possessed. Resilience also demands self-compassion, acknowledging that setbacks are a natural part of the journey and do not diminish our worth or potential. By treating ourselves with kindness, we create a supportive inner foundation from which to rebuild. One of the most profound aspects of resilience is its ability to inspire others. When individuals rise above difficulties with courage and determination, they become beacons of hope for those around them. Their stories remind us that even in the darkest moments, there is light to be found. This inspiration multiplies when combined with unity, as people rally around shared challenges and encourage one another to persevere. Together, unity and resilience create an upward spiral of strength and possibility. At the heart of unity and resilience lies the importance of communication. Open, honest, and empathetic dialogue is essential for fostering understanding and collaboration. Whether resolving conflicts, sharing ideas, or offering support, effective communication builds trust and strengthens relationships. It also allows communities to identify and address challenges collectively, ensuring that everyone's voice is heard and valued. A critical aspect of fostering unity and resilience is recognizing the importance of shared responsibility. Each individual has a role to play in creating a supportive and thriving community. This might involve volunteering time, offering resources, or simply extending kindness and understanding to those in need. By taking ownership of our contributions, we empower ourselves and others to work toward a common good. The resilience also depends on cultivating a sense of purpose. When individuals and communities have clear goals and values, they are better equipped to navigate adversity. Purpose provides direction and motivation, reminding us of what truly matters and why it is worth fighting for. It acts as a guiding light, illuminating the path forward, even in uncertain times. While unity and resilience are powerful on their own, their true strength lies in their interplay. Unity provides the support network needed to weather storms, while resilience ensures that individuals within the group can adapt and endure. Together, they create a cycle of mutual reinforcement. The stronger the bonds of unity, the greater the collective resilience, and vice versa. Ultimately, the call for unity and resilience is a call to action. It challenges us to look beyond our immediate circumstances and consider how we can contribute to a greater whole. It asks us to embrace both our shared humanity and our unique strengths, recognizing that each person's efforts matter. By answering this call, we not only navigate challenges with grace, but also lay the groundwork for a future built on connection, strength, and hope. In a world often divided by differences and shaken by unexpected events, unity and resilience are the antidotes. They remind us that together we are capable of achieving extraordinary things, and that within each of us lies the strength to endure, rebuild, and thrive. Let us embrace this call, weaving unity and resilience into the fabric of our lives, and watch as it transforms not only our own experiences, but also the world around us.